Justin here with the Atlanta Brick Co., and I have a special guest. You saw him on our YouTube channel already. This is Luke, thank you so much for coming down.
Yeah, it's a pleasure.
Now, are you local?
I'm not local to this area. I was born in Atlanta and grew up in Atlanta, but I currently live in Tennessee.
How did you discover us?
So for the majority of my childhood, we'd always come to Noonan because we'd go to Full Circle Toys. And then when I was about, I think I was 15 or 16, and you guys opened the store up. And so we're like, I love Lego. My dad loves action figures. So it worked out to where we were able to come to Noonan and get the best of both worlds.
And so you chose our store as the host of your grand achievement, setting the record for the fastest UCS Millennium Falcon build, Guinness Book of World Records.
Yes.
So first of all, thank you for choosing us. We were happy to have you. And I want to know what inspired you to want to do this.
So what inspired me was All New Bricks. It's a YouTube channel. I'm not sure what the gentleman's name is that runs the channel, but he set the world record for the Roman Colosseum in 13 hours and 37 minutes. And I was like, well, I built the Millennium Falcon in 9 hours and 18 minutes the first time I built it. And I was like, I think I could set a world record with this set. I went on Guinness's website. I applied. I went through all the hoops. And about a month into it, I got accepted and everything. And then next thing I know, I see All New Bricks attempting the world record for the Millennium Falcon. And I was like, oh, man, this guy probably beat me to it. And I watched this video, and it's like 16 hours. I was like, how? Like, what took so long? So when I went to set the record, I did it. Usually when I build it, I have it sorted, and that's where I get my best times. But since I built it out of the bag, I got 10 hours and 21 minutes.
You said you just apply, but then is there an interview process? Every world record is so different and weird and unique.
Yeah.
How do they lay out the rules for like Lego sets or whatever? How did that process come about?
So how it works is you apply. It takes about a month. I think I applied at the beginning of August, got accepted by September or so. And you just basically, there was already an outline for that record. Like, it was already like, you could apply to do this record. So I applied for it. Once I got accepted, they sent me a 30-page PDF with all the guidelines for doing just any record. And then they also sent me a 4-page paper on all the specific guidelines
for this
record,
one. Okay.
Which outlined everything that I needed to do to be able to be verified and complete this record. Now, there is a way you can do it and spend money. So you can pay Guinness, and they can actually have a judge come out to your record attempt to verify it. Now, I did it the way that, you just apply and you do it for free, basically, which is a lot of work. Because you have to make sure you have witnesses, witness statements, timekeeper statements. Everything has to be filmed. Everything has to be documented. Everything has to be uploaded to their website once it's completed, which is a big hassle. And having you guys host it made it a lot easier on me because it gave it a central location. It was a public place, which is in the guidelines. It had to be at a public location. And I was able to get a lot of people that I've known from Atlanta from growing up here to come and be a witness.
Were there anything in the rules that was unexpected?
One of the hardest challenges of it is that your family members can't be an independent witness.
Okay.
Now, it makes sense because they're biased. Or they would be biased. But it was just difficult. You can't pull any family members. So you just got to pull all your friends together and trying to get somebody who's like loyal enough. I mean, I have a lot of good, loyal friends who are very willing and able to come and sit in a room for 2 to 4 hours just to watch me build a Lego set, which I was like, thank you. I really appreciate it, but it's just a challenge. That part of it was the biggest challenge.
Could you explain more on your method about how you laid out the pieces?
Yeah.
Now, obviously, you have to go by bag because it's in order of the instructions, but was there prep work or was it like open, dump, just go as fast as you can?
There's actually, in the guidelines, it says I can assemble it any order I want.
Really?
So I don't even have to do it bag 1 through, and that set is 17. I could do it bag 17 to 1. Of course, that would be next to impossible. It'd be really challenging. My method to it when I was doing it is I would dump the bag out, I'd sort the bag by piece, and then I would start building.
To you, that is the fastest way.
That is the fastest way because if I took, on average, 5 to 8 minutes, and I had a bag sorted by piece. So if I take that extra, say, 8 minutes at most per bag, it's saving me so much time in the long run, versus trying to pull a piece out of each different spot.
So seconds here and there, but
Yeah.
it's saving minutes by the end.
By long run. Like I did. So I had bag 1. You can have the bags open and sorted, but in that particular time I just didn't have them sorted. So I had all the bag number 1 laid out and sorted. Bag number 2 is the landing gear, so that was just putting 6 landing gear together, so I didn't sort that one. When I got to bag 3, that was the hurdle because I didn't sort it, because I didn't think about it. And it took me so long. It took me almost 50 minutes to do that one bag. And I was like, wow, that's put me behind, because usually I can get that bag done in less than 40. And so then from bag 4 on, I sorted it out. Now, I did have bag 17 sorted and in containers, and it was sitting right behind me right here. And so when it came time to do the last bag, I pulled that from back here and put it on the table and built it.
I mean, that's huge, right?
Yeah, that's a large
and not only is the build enormous, but you also have everything sorted out neatly. Were you ever worried about knocking pieces off or losing stuff? Did that ever happen and slow you down?
When you're building and you're trying to build really fast, there's always that time you have a piece fly out of your hands.
Yes.
That has happened, and I think that happened during my attempt. But most of the time, as I would have a little piece fall off the table. But since it was against the wall over here, it wasn't as bad. And then on this end, I had witnesses sitting over here, so if a piece fell, they would let me know. Now, they couldn't pick it up.
Yeah, they couldn't help you.
I would have to pick it up. And I tried my best not to let anybody touch the model, except for the specialist witness, just to inspect it to make sure it was built correctly.
You mentioned how All New Bricks attempted it as well.
Yeah.
And when I did research for this interview, found on the Guinness Book of World Records site that he was actually disqualified for that build because he was going so fast he missed a piece. And he knew, he's like, Lego typically doesn't give this to you as an extra. So he went back in the instructions and actually, good on him. Yeah. He was honest.
I really appreciate his integrity.
Yes.
And his honesty, because, I mean, that's a big deal when it comes to doing these records, because if you lie about it, then you have to live with that.
Yeah, and no one would know.
Yeah, and nobody would know. Yeah.
But he was the better man, and he called them up and said no, and he was disqualified. But even that, you still beat his time, correct?
Yeah. Yeah, because his time, I think his final time was about 16 hours and 10 minutes. My final time was 10 hours and 21 minutes.
And what would you say is your secret? Was it the prep work?
Organizing the bags, I think that helped. Another thing is, since it's such a large set, and the manual is about 2.5 feet long, so I'll take the pieces and I'll set them on the page. It has the box, like in normal Lego sets. Every Lego set pretty much has the box that shows what pieces are needed, and I'll take the part, I'll set it on the page, and I'll fill up both pages with all the parts that are needed for those 2 pages. And once I do that, I build it all, then I turn the page. Continue on and do that over and over and over again.
What is the most challenging part about continually building something for that long?
I'd say the hunger. That's the most challenging thing. Doing it, you have your literally not stopping, so you're constantly moving, so you're outputting a lot of energy.
Burning those calories.
So you're getting hungry. So throughout, I think I ate like 3 or 4 Chick-fil-A sandwiches, because I just I'd have my brother, he'd run up to Chick-fil-A, grab one, and bring it back, and I'd eat it.
That was during the build?
During the build,
so
yeah.
So you just take a bite and keep going?
No, so I would keep my fingers from getting greasy and getting the set dirty or whatever. I would sit there and eat the sandwich in about 2 minutes.
Oh, wow.
And then wipe my hands off with a paper towel.
And they don't stop the clock for that, or
no,
they do?
They do not. The deal is, once the timer starts, it does not stop.
So bathroom breaks, everything.
Yeah, bathroom breaks, food, everything's counted in the time.
Oh, man, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's the most challenging part.
Is there any physical besides the hunger, like standing up that long or leaning over? Did your back start hurting? Your fingers start hurting?
So I don't know why, but my fingers never hurt.
Okay.
When I'm building a Lego set, they just don't. My back hurts. So by the time I was done building, my back was in extreme pain. Now, while I was building, I was so focused and so in the zone, I didn't really pay attention to it. It did really slow me down, I wouldn't say, but by the end of it, I stood up and I was like, I'm going to have to see the chiropractor after this.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
10 hours and 21 minutes, so if anyone wants to beat him, that's the time to beat.
That's the time to beat. So I think the fastest time I could find on the internet is somebody built it in 11 hours and 39 minutes.
So you cut them down. Wow,
Yeah.
Okay. Very nice.
Yeah.
So what's next? Are you going to do this crazy stunt again?
So at this point, it still hasn't been finalized by Guinness. I'm waiting for them to respond. Once I get it finalized, if I get approved, I'll move on. And I'm thinking about a few more sets I may want to set records for. If it gets disqualified for any reason, they could literally disqualify me for the smallest thing. I'll try it again.
Okay, so you would try this again. Well, thank you so much. Thank you for coming down and setting this awesome record and letting us be the host for you.
I really appreciate it.
We were glad to have you.
Yeah.
Are you shopping today? Is there anything in the store you're looking for?
I do have some store credit, so if I don't know if you guys have one, but I'm looking for an Imperial shuttle.
Okay, hopefully you can find one.
Yeah.
And right now, your Millennium Falcon is not for sale because it's his personal one. How long is that guy going to live with us?
I'd probably say let's hear back from Guinness, and once we hear back from Guinness and we know that I was I got the record or was disqualified, we'll move forward from there.
Okay.
Hopefully by the end of January, I'll know.
Okay.
That's the hope.
Well, good luck. Congratulations again,
Yeah.
and we can't wait to see you again. Thank you.
Yeah.
Don't forget to comment, share, like, and subscribe.